The Post-Graduation Work Permit PGWP in Canada allows international students who have completed a program of study at a recognized institution in Canada to stay and work in the country after graduation. The length of the PGWP depends on various factors, including the length of the programs completed, whether multiple programs were pursued, and the specifics of each program's duration. When an individual completes more than one program of study in Canada, the validity of their PGWP is determined by a few specific guidelines set by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. Generally, the PGWP's duration is tied to the length of the longest program completed, with additional benefits if multiple programs meet certain conditions. If you complete more than one eligible program, the PGWP can be granted based on the combined length of all the programs, but with some important distinctions. Here's how it works. ###1. Duration of the PGWP based on the longest program. When you complete multiple programs of study, the PGWP will typically be issued for the same length as the longest program you completed. This rule applies to individuals who have successfully finished 2 or more eligible programs. However, the combined duration cannot exceed 3 years, even if the total duration of your programs is longer. For example, if you completed 2 programs, one that was 1 year long and another that was 2 years long, the total duration of the PGWP would be capped at a maximum of 3 years, regardless of the combined program length. ###2. Eligibility criteria for multiple programs. For multiple programs to be considered, each program must meet certain conditions. The programs need to be eligible for a PGWP, meaning they must be completed at a recognized designated learning institution, DLI, in Canada. The combined programs must total at least 8 months of full-time study to be eligible for a PGWP, with the requirement that each program is either a diploma, certificate, or degree program that results in a credential. Additionally, the programs must be completed without a significant gap between them. Gaps of more than 150 days between the end of one program and the start of another can negatively affect your eligibility for a PGWP, potentially limiting the duration or even preventing the issuance of a work permit. However, if there is a gap of fewer than 150 days, it typically won't impact your eligibility, and you can still be considered for a PGWP based on the total duration of your studies. ###3. Multiple programs within the same DLI. If you complete multiple programs at the same institution, the length of your PGWP will still be determined based on the longest program completed, as long as the above conditions are met. It is important to make sure that you apply for your PGWP within 180 days, 6 months, of receiving your final transcript or official notice of program completion. ###4. 2 separate DLIs. In cases where you complete programs at 2 different DLIs, the PGWP can be issued based on the total duration of the programs, as long as both institutions are recognized and the programs were taken in succession without any significant gap. As noted, the total time for the PGWP may still be capped at 3 years, depending on the cumulative length of the programs. ###5. Other factors affecting PGWP duration. Some students may want to combine studies from part-time and full-time programs. Typically, only full-time studies are eligible for inclusion in the PGWP calculation. Part-time studies may not count toward the work permit's duration unless they were taken due to specific conditions, such as health issues, that led to a reduction in course load. Additionally, if you pursued a co-op or internship as part of one of your programs, this may not be considered toward the length of the PGWP, as it is not counted as study time. ###conclusion. In conclusion, if you have completed multiple programs of study in Canada, your PGWP's validity will generally be determined by the longest program, with the total length of the work permit potentially being capped at a maximum of 3 years. However, certain criteria must be met, such as the eligibility of the programs and the duration of any gaps between them. To ensure that you get the most out of your work permit, It's important to follow the requirements regarding timing and documentation to secure a PGWP that reflects your combined academic achievements. Always consult the latest guidelines from IRCC to verify specific details relevant to your situation.
Thanks for watching our video. Please hit the button and subscribe the channel.